Hello, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to be talking about Wicked for Good, or as I like to call it, Wicked 2, Wicked Part 2.
Yep. Which
So-
makes sense because it is technically Act 2 of the Wicked musical. So if you're a fan of the musical, it's the second act, so it makes sense to call it Wicked 2. But they have titled it Wicked for Good in honor of the final song in the movie and musical, sort of final song.
Yeah, so Wicked for Good came out just recently in theaters, just this week, the week of the 22nd, and it's been doing pretty well. The first movie did really well in the box office too. It made over 700 million. I think it was around 740. You'd have to Google that to be positive. I don't remember exactly, but it was a lot of money. Less than I thought. It maybe should have, just by the sheer amount of popularity or people I knew talking about it. Like, I thought it did better than 700 million, but it's still a lot of money. Yeah, so they were back, I think, and didn't they film everything already?
Together, yeah.
Yeah, so I guess, did they not edit it? Or, like, why did they do 2 years or a year in advance? Like, I wonder what the decision thought were, just to do two movies because it was so long, or...
I've been struggling with that concept of why they did two movies. I mean, I have a lot of thoughts and feelings. Like, for one, as a fan of the musical, let me rephrase. As a fan of the music of the musical, I've not actually ever been a fan of the musical, because I just didn't like it. Looking at the staging and everything, it's always been a wonderful production. It's always been a beautiful production, but the music by itself is fine. Putting everything else in it on stage, the story and everything, I'm just not wowed by it. And I think this movie, for me, highlighted why I'm not wowed by it. The first half of the musical is phenomenal. It's brilliant. It's great. The second half has a few good songs, but overall is not that great. And I think that's why, part of the reason why I've seen it twice is because I had to make sure that I wasn't crazy. When I first saw it, I've seen Wicked for Good twice. Now saw it premiere night and saw it today. And the first night I gave it a 3, and I was like, I could argue it down to a 2. I'm gonna stand on it just being a 3. For a myriad of things, costumes, acting, singing, all of those things are good. With the exception of Michelle Yeoh. Sorry, respectfully, she's trash in this movie. In both movies, she's trash. I don't know why they cast her.
You're calling shots.
She's just not. She's not right for this character. For one, there are people who did it justice on stage. Who are also movie people. Cheryl Lee Ralph, for example, played Madame Morrible on Broadway for a while, and she is a movie person. She's done movies, she's done TV. Like, she could have potentially been a person that you called for this. I don't know with her shooting schedule with another show that she's already on if that would have allowed for that, but it would have been a better choice. Or there are a lot of other people that could have been a better choice than Michelle Yeoh. She's not a singer, for one. So it's unfair to have a non-singer sing. And two, I don't know. I wanted more out of her performance, and I felt like I was watching Crazy Rich Asians again. Like, she literally played the same character, just with worse vocabulary. It's a 3. I was gonna argue it to a 2, but I'm gonna stand on it being a 3. But it really, Wicked for Good just highlights how trash the second act of the musical is.
And her rating system, for those of you that don't know, it's out of 5.
Yeah.
It's not 3 out of 10. But so that is above average. But I have to tend to agree that the first movie I enjoyed better, and I've never really listened to the music before seeing these movies. I think the first movie flowed better. The flow was better.
Yep.
The second movie was okay. Something I mentioned to Yara in the car on the way home too, though. Like, I know it's a musical, so you're supposed to have music, but the very beginning of the movie, for the first like 45 minutes, is just song after song after song, and I felt like there wasn't enough acting in the movie. And I know it's a musical, but like, to me,
it was
musicals need more acting.
Yeah, it was almost an operetta at that point because of how much music was in it.
Yeah.
Like, and they added songs for no reason.
And I don't even know which songs. I don't even know which songs were added.
Like, yeah, so the song for
Don't tell me it's the one by the Wizard.
No, that was already in there.
I like that one. I like Jeff Goldblum, which is partly why, like, I just like that actor a lot, which is partly why I liked his song so much, was just because I like seeing him act and sing. And
sidebar: if you have not watched the Wicked concert on Peacock or NBC, or if you didn't watch it when it aired a few weeks ago, super good. Go watch it. Jeff Goldblum plays the piano.
I did not watch it.
But he plays the piano.
That's pretty cool.
I literally sat there with my jaw dropped. I was like,
I didn't even know he played.
I didn't either. Yeah. And he like jazzed up one of the songs for Cynthia to sing, and I was upset when they made him stop playing. I was like, no, let him finish the song. Like, it was so good. But Jeff Goldblum aside, so songs that were added, there was the song, I think it's just called Home. And
like when they had no, I'm thinking of a trailer.
Yeah. No, when she's singing to the animals in the forest and they're all escaping.
Okay.
That song that was added.
Yeah, that didn't seem to flow much
at
either. And but also some of the original songs in the Wicked, I didn't feel like flowed. Like, for me, like the one towards the beginning, and partly again it was because it was song after song after song, but the one where Glinda was singing about
Katira.
Glinda was singing towards the beginning. What was that song title called? Do you remember?
Couldn't Be Happier. That's in the original.
Couldn't Be Happier.
Yeah, that's in the musical.
See, and that was one that I didn't think flowed well, but also because when they were singing songs, like, it wasn't like they sang the song. It was like they sang like a line, and then they'd have like one thing to say, and then they'd sing another line.
They did that a lot more this round, and that's not true to the musical. So like the one that stuck out to me is in For Good. She sings, "I'm limited, together we'll be the great." Like, it's a repeat part of a song from the first act, right? But then she says, "Now it's up to you for both of us." And then she walks off and says more stuff. And I was like, wait, what happened? That's not original. And that kind of bothered me. And I was like, why did we... I mean, I get why they did it, because she was like giving her the Grimoire and all the things, but like, why they had to cut it like that, it was weird. They did it, I think, once or twice in the first movie, and but it wasn't as bad as this one. This one was just like, I'm gonna sing and then I'm gonna talk for a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, I know one of my complaints was there was too much music in the beginning, but like, if you're gonna do a song, just do the song and then have dialogue before or after. It was harder to follow, because like, I'm used to like old school musicals where like there is still plenty of acting, there's still plenty of regular stuff, but like when they do a song, it's the song and then they move on.
Right. Yeah.
The breaking it up didn't flow for me. I didn't enjoy that.
I think it just didn't flow, like, overall, because I feel like in the musical, when they do that, it flowed. It just didn't in this. And I think so one, the No Place Like Home is what it's called, I think. That song was added, and then Girl in the Bubble.
Oh, okay.
Which both songs were just bad. And I felt disrespected for Cynthia and Ariana. Why would you give them such terrible songs? Like, they were fluff songs. They both make sense. Like, what the songs are saying makes sense. But they didn't make sense where they were put in the musical, and also how musically they were written.
Both kind of towards the beginning, right?
No, Girl in the Bubble's later.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah. But, like, it just... It didn't work for me. I think both songs, like, if taking out of context, would have been fine, but no. Didn't make sense to add them. I'm trying to think. Did they cut a song?
That I have no idea.
I'm trying. I would have to like revisit the list of songs, but I feel like they cut songs to replace with those.
Oh, see, that's even worse.
Yeah. But yeah, it's just I was just pleasantly let down, and I expected it because I know how I felt about the musical as a whole. So I wasn't surprised.
Even when you saw the trailer, you said you thought the trailer didn't look as good as the first movie.
Yeah.
So, but I think, interesting enough though, I think they're still doing really well. I saw a couple articles that says it's looking to make 200 million the first weekend, 150 to 200 million. I haven't seen an update now that it's Saturday night. I don't know, but I think it's still really popular. The movie theater we saw it at, first off, they had showings 4:30, 5:36, 6:37, 7.
Yeah, they had showings pretty much.
They had a lot of showings, and most of them, the ones we looked at when we were booking, were almost sold out. And I think, there might have been one or two seats missing, but I think our theater at 5:30 in the afternoon was full.
Yeah.
Granted, it is the weekend, and it's the first weekend the movie came out, and then the next weekend's a holiday weekend, so.
I think a lot of people are definitely going to get out and see it next weekend. I've talked to a lot of people that said they're going next weekend. So
I think it's still going to do well. I do find it funny. We Googled the cast just to have the names up in front of us, and it says Peter Dinklage in the cast for Wicked for Good, and his character's in it, but he doesn't have a single line because his character can't speak anymore. I guess because of the wizard. So
no, the concept is, and this is kind of hard to get from the musical and less so from the movie. It's mentioned in the first movie where he's saying because animals are being kidnapped and blamed for famine and all these things, they're being caged and reverting to what we know as an animal. And the wizard...
So it's kind of instinctly...
Yeah.
Like when they're thrown in a cage and stuff.
Then they don't speak.
Okay.
So...
Well, I guess when you're being treated like an animal...
But, like, the wizard started doing that initially, which is kind of the point, is that, like, everybody thinks that he's a fantastic wizard and he hasn't done anything about the animals. And that's brought up, I think it's brought up more in the book. And I it's been a very, very long time since I've read the book. I read it when I was 15 or 16. It is not a book for kids. I think I mentioned that when we did our last review. It is not a kid's book. It is a very adult book.
Like it's a hard read, or?
No. Oh. It's like orgy with animals and munchkins.
I'm glad they didn't put that in the movie.
Yeah, thank God.
I would not have enjoyed that.
It's not a book. And again, I read it when I was 15, 16, not knowing what I was reading, like, or what I was getting into when I read it. And then I read it and I was like, what just happened? But I'm glad that they took what little foundation was in the book out to make the musical.
Yeah.
But because they took what little goodness there was, you lost some of the things that were kind of nuancy in the book. Because the book is, much like the Wizard of Oz series, the book is it was a fan fiction, right, of the Wizard of Oz. That's how it started. But it is a political commentary.
Was it based upon the movie?
Based on the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, more so based on the movie than the books. I guess the book is
technically based... The original Wizard of Oz movie is technically based upon the books. but it's also very limited, like because there's many books, and it takes it shoves it all in one movie.
Yeah, and
it misses a lot.
And I think that it misses a lot, and so I think the author Gregory Maguire tried to kind of work in between, but it also from a musical perspective, it pulls a lot more visually from the movie side of things.
Sure.
So like one of the things that one of my friends who also saw it Thursday, with his family, he and I were talking, and he was like, it completely makes sense that Fiyero is the Scarecrow, because if you think about it in the movie, the Scarecrow was the one that was always doing something that threw them off. And they always blamed it on the fact that he doesn't have a brain. But if you think about it from a perspective of if he's Fiyero and he's intentionally doing that to slow them down so that she has a chance to do the things she needs to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, that's like a nuancey thing, but you kind of figure that out.
I just picture him getting on fire.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that they did the nuancy parts of it fairly well. Yeah, it's there's so many things that were both good and bad about it, and I think that's why I'm stuck at a 3, having now seen it a second time.
Yeah, I would say I'm glad I saw it once. I don't plan to see it again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe in 20 years or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I might rewatch Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. I don't think I'm going to rewatch the part 2. Like, I think I'd just watch the first half and let it go.
Yeah, I definitely, like, I am more apt to rewatch the first one than I am the second.
Yeah.
Because, but, I mean, and I've said this to some of my other friends that have also already seen it, it could have been so much shorter. It did not need to be 2.5 hours, or almost, a smidge over 2 hours. When the musical is only that long. And
the whole musical?
The whole musical. Like, if you see it on Broadway, it's only 2 hours.
So why did they do the movies just to make more money? Well, but the length doesn't necessarily make more money. The making 2 movies makes more money, or can.
Yeah.
But, like...
I would have rather them make an extra long single movie. I would have sat through 3 hours. Like, easily would have sat through 3 hours. Because there was just so much filler, like when you have the flashback with Glinda and stuff, like with her birthday party, take that mess out. So it made sense for, like, Glinda processing, like, oh, she gets this new wand, and she's always wanted a wand, she always wanted to be magical, and she has no actual power, which, again, another commentary there on who really has power and what gives you power, right? So, like, we all, grew up with Wizard of Oz, and it's heavily implied that, like, Glinda magically puts the shoes on her feet, and Glinda does all the things, but, like, does she actually ever do that?
How do the shoes get to Dorothy's feet? Because they didn't even really touch on it.
Yeah, so the shoes, I think it's kind of implied more so in the first in the Wizard of Oz that the shoes choose the wearer.
Oh, okay.
But the shoes were the extended part of that for Wicked is that the shoes were Elphaba's mom's, and her dad gave them to her sister.
Okay.
Because he, loved the sister and doesn't love her. And so she feels kind of heartbroken. So it, like, not only has she lost her mom, she lost the person that raised her as a father, but wasn't a father. So, like, she doesn't care so much about that. But then she loses her sister. And you took the one thing that connected the three of them away from her. Yeah, like, no wonder she feels some type of way about it.
Yeah.
But
makes sense.
But the shoes choose the wearer, so Dorothy gets the shoes without Glinda never actually touches them in the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
They just jump to her.
Well, it looks like she does the.
Yeah, it looks like she does, but she
according to
doesn't.
Wicked, she doesn't have any magic.
Yeah.
I like. This is gonna sound weird because obviously you can argue that both of them are fiction, but like I like because I grew up with the Wizard of Oz, like that to me is the reality, and Wicked is like a fiction of the reality.
Well, yeah, that was the point.
No, I know, but like they're technically both not real.
Right, but I think what I like about Wicked is that it pulls apart the pieces that you're just like, okay, but what about that thing? Like, again, Glinda doesn't have power because in reality, in the movie Wizard of Oz, she doesn't ever do anything.
She waves her little wand.
She waves it and does nothing.
She shows up in a bubble.
She does show up in a bubble, which was manufactured by the wizard, apparently.
Yeah. Yeah, it is interesting. I do like. It's funny, like, because technically the wizard and Jeff Goldblum, I don't know what. Goldblum.
I don't understand how you can't say that.
Yeah. So technically the wizard, Jeff Goldblum, his character is evil or bad, but like I still feel for the guy.
You do, especially after you. I mean, like a lot of people connected that he's her dad, like real early.
I think you might have told me that.
I probably did
in the last filming, maybe that we did, but I didn't. Like I kind of remembered it when they said it, but I didn't really remember it until they said it again.
But especially because he like always talks about like I wanted a family, and so that's why I do the things I did.
So she literally, you probably saw her walk by. She brought her toy from downstairs all the way up here just to try to ask us to play with her, which we will, but not right now. So yeah, I don't know. Like it was worth a watch. I'd go out and see it if you have time and have the money. But if you have to miss this one or wait for it to come out,
you can
streaming.
Wait.
Yeah, I wouldn't be bothered. It's not my favorite by any means. I don't feel like I wasted my time, but part of that is just because I like filming reactions and it was good to go out on a date with Yara. So yeah, I don't know, but to me, best actor Jeff. That's terrible because I mean, like he even has a smaller part than everybody else, but like I don't know, I just like the guy. I like the actor. I love Jurassic Park movies. They're really cheesy. Obviously, some of them are, or most of them are.
I will say the CG flashback where you actually see the wizard with her mom. I love how they CG'd young Jeff Goldblum.
Oh, so that's why it looked kind of like him?
Yeah, because it was like they took him from like back in the early Jurassic Park era and just kind of CG'd on there, and I'm like that's pretty good.
Yeah. It'll be off topic, but it'll be interesting to see how much Hollywood changes with AI.
It's already changing.
Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of AI personally, but even my job is all about AI.
Oh, I think the other thing I was going to say is like, and I've talked to, some other folks about this as well, but I just find it absolutely hilarious. So, Elphaba and Fiyero finally get together, and it's heavily implied they sleep together, right? But what I find absolutely hilarious is how much they tried to replicate Bridgerton without doing it. Hilarious to me, especially because it's Jonathan Bailey. And I was just like, I feel like I'm watching the second season when he gets with, I don't even remember the girl's name, in Bridgerton, but like when he finally gets with her and they're in the garden, that's what it felt like they were trying to replicate without any sex. Hilarious to me. And I feel like I'm one of the few people who is catching that. I'm like, bro, what are we doing here? But also like I love the song As Long As You're Mine. Like it's a good song. But I felt the way they filmed that scene was stupid. Because it didn't match the lyrics. Like, literally the lyrics are, kiss me too fiercely, hold me too tight, I need help believing you're with me tonight. And why is she walking in a lap around her bedroom? Like, she's just walking in a lap, like, they ain't even kissed yet. They ain't doing nothing yet. Like, and she's just like, kiss me too fiercely, hold me too tight. Like, girl, you can't, he's not holding you. What you singing about? What are you singing about?
I do want to mention though, like his character, like, and maybe he was never really into Glinda, but the flip flop in girls, like he's on his wedding day, decides to go out run off with some other woman.
It makes sense though but I mean, like the point is that Glinda manufactures the whole relationship. He never said let's be in a relationship. All he said was let's go out to dance.
Yeah.
And she turned that into I have a boyfriend now. And he doesn't really stop her. But he's also
He should have stopped her though.
I agree. But he's also a prince. So in his brain, he's also doing what his family would want, which is marry the pretty girl, get your ranks in the military, blah blah blah. Now, if we look at it from a book perspective, he was actually already married.
Ugh, that makes it more fun.
Yeah, like in the book, he's married. There's like a whole discussion about how
he's married to Glinda or somebody completely different.
Somebody completely different.
Oh,
yeah. There's like a whole discussion in the book about how Elphaba's body is different than his wife's body. It's weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I don't plan to run out and read the books. I feel no need.
Yeah. I kind of like, part of me wants to go back and reread the book to catch more stuff, but like also I don't need to reread the Tiger and the Munchkin again.
Yeah. Now, one thing I might do, and I'm not gonna like go out of my way, but like if the musical came to Indiana,
it does every couple years.
I would be willing, if Yar wanted to go, I'd be willing to go see it. Mm-hmm. It is kind of weird. I'm doing things backwards, like seeing the movie about the musical before I saw the musical.
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily make sense. But I also tend to like, for example, Harry Potter. I never read Harry Potter. Mm-hmm. Maybe I should at some point. I just don't read very much. And so, but I've seen Harry Potter films, and so like I just tend to sometimes do things backwards.
I mean, I do sometimes as well. Like, I saw the first 2 Lord of the Rings before I read the series.
Now, that I didn't do because my mom would not allow me to watch Lord of the Rings unless I read all the books. And those books took me years to get through.
They are
literal
hefty.
Years.
Yeah.
I think between 3 to 5 years. But I did manage to get through all of them because I really wanted to see the movies. And it was worth it. Mm-hmm. Those movies are gold.
Yeah. I think I also technically saw Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, not the newer one, but the old one from like the 80s. I saw that before I read the books too.
See, and I didn't. I read the books first. Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got. You got anything more?
Nah. So
yeah, overall, Yara says 3 out of 5. I'd say just slightly above average. It's not. I enjoyed the Jurassic World movie that came out this year more, which is funny because it wasn't very good.
No, it was terrible for the half of it that I've seen.
But I like dinosaurs. I like John Williams music, even though it wasn't necessarily John Williams music, but it was in that atmosphere. I don't know. I enjoyed that storyline better than I enjoyed this.
Yeah, I just was let down. Like, I don't know why it bothers me so much that I was let down, but like it bothers me I was let down. Like elements of the movie were fantastic. Again, vocals on par.
Yeah, the vocals were good. Yeah,
costuming, fire, like just beautiful costuming, beautiful sets. Like everything else is good. It's just it was a waste to do 2 movies.
Yeah. I think they could have, for the second movie, if they would have cut out even half of the movie.
Yeah.
And then put everything else together, I think it would have been a better movie experience. I don't know this to be true, but I half wonder if they did it because they wanted to make more money. Like if that was the main reason behind it, I don't know.
Well, no, like from what I've understood, it seems that they were like, oh, there's two real stories to tell here if you think about it. Like there's the before all of the crazy happens, and then there's after all the crazy happens. And that's the two stories they were trying to tell, but it just didn't go well.
I also, and this is a very small thing, and again, she had a really small part, but I wish Dorothy like had one line.
I just wish I'd seen her face.
Well, yeah, that goes without saying. Like, of course, I'd want to see her face in her one line, and I understand like she's not the main character. She's not. I mean, she's not.
She did have a line.
What?
When Elphaba's telling her to get the shoes off, she goes, "I'm sorry. I'm so very sorry." Yeah, so she does get a line.
So she has a line, but you don't see her face.
You don't see her face. See her legs.
Also, I agree. The movie itself, like the acting was good. I did not like the death scene, and maybe part of the reason, and I do quotations because the Wicked Witch doesn't end up dying.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoilers. But and maybe that's why they filmed the death scene the way they did, where you just saw the shadows. But when I first saw it, first off, I thought she did actually die because I've only seen the movie Wizard of Oz and then Wicked Part 1. So, like, I thought she did die. And I was kind of disappointed. Not that I want to see Cynthia die, but I was disappointed with the filming of it because it's just shadows. And it's like, to me, you'd want to see what actually happens. But then I guess it makes a little more sense that you didn't see it because you would have figured out that she went down below in a trapdoor, maybe.
And you're also seeing it from Glinda's perspective.
Yeah, but I didn't like that.
Yeah, I agree only because you didn't see Dorothy at any other point. You just kept seeing her back, her legs.
Yeah.
But like it just it makes sense to me. But I also understand for me, I would have rather seen it as an homage to the Wizard of Oz movie of how she dies in that movie. Like, if you, like, reshot it almost identical to that, that would be really cool. Yeah. Because anybody that is a fan of the original movie would be like, oh, okay, like, homage, okay, snap, snap, snaps. But I also understand shooting it from Glinda's perspective. You're seeing what Glinda is seeing, and you understand why Glinda feels that her friend is gone.
Yeah. I also was waiting for Toto to pull the curtain away from the wizard. Like, and that never happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, that explains how they're going to catch that he's not the real wizard, is because Toto's here.
Right.
And it didn't play out that way.
Also love that Toto was on a leash.
Oh, was he really?
Yeah, he's on a leash the whole time.
Well, that explains why he didn't pull the curtain away. He couldn't get away.
I was like, he wasn't on a leash in the original movie. Like, I said that Thursday when I saw it. I went, is he on a leash?
They could afford to pay all the actors, just they couldn't afford to pay for a trained dog.
Right.
So, anyways, let us know in the comments if you've seen this movie, what you thought. Also, I'm going to leave Ice Goddess's channel down below, Yara's channel. She does book reviews quite frequently, I think weekly. Yeah, every week she has one. So if you want to check that out, feel free to subscribe and support her. Leave a like on this video if you enjoy these type of videos. You can subscribe to my channel if you're new. We do a lot of gaming videos and reaction videos and things like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much all I got. But I appreciate you guys listening. Thanks for watching. And we'll see you next time. Bye!
Bye!